Hey guys, I'm back with another video for you guys, and in today's video I wanted to have a little say about Leticia. When I first took a listen, I did find her a tad bit boring. I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was boring. And my first thought was, here we go. Here is yet another person bitching about how cruel life has been and how, she's just been a victim of so many injustices and she just needed to get her story out to the world. And I was like, oh God, here we go. I mean, I'd already been watching somebody who'd been crying about the same exact shit for 6 years. And I wasn't ready to open up another door to a forever victim. But the more and more I listened to Leticia, the more and more I thought to myself, hey, wait a minute, I've heard this before. Oh my gosh, wait. Trisha has said the same exact thing. So it got me curious. And little by little, I fell down that rabbit hole head first. Yes, I did. And I have been watching Leticia ever since. And it has been very infuriating for me, but very fascinating for me at the same time. I know I'm just weird like that, but she is intriguing. Now, normally I would have empathy for somebody who's in the predicament that Leticia is in, being almost 7 months pregnant, with no partner, no home. She's living out of her car, and she seems to not want to turn to her family or her supposed quote unquote friends to help her out. And I just think to myself, most people who are in that type of situation would do all that they could to overcome it and better their lives for themselves as well as their children that they are responsible for. So don't get me wrong. I did empathize with Leticia in some way, but the more and more that I have watched her, what I see is a egotistical, spoiled brat who thinks that the world owes her everything and anything that her little black heart desires. A person who is unwilling to do for herself because her sense of entitlement keeps her in that forever victim mode. She is a person who cried rape after she was denied a relationship with a man that she only knew for a brief moment. Actually, she will pretty much accuse any man of rape for even looking in her direction. I see a person who scoffs at anyone who dares offer her sound advice. She doesn't want advice, she wants your hard earned money. I see a person, a supposed mother. I actually refer to Leticia as a momster. I see a momster who threatens to inflict fatal harm to her unborn child and who claims that her existing child doesn't actually exist because the courts stripped her away from her. A momster who doxed not only her daughter's social security number, but gave out the address where the daughter lives as well as the school that the little girl attends. It was after that incident that had me saying, you know what, F it. I do not give a shit about what happens to this creature. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that when Leticia did lose custody or whatever it was with her daughter, it did cause her to, as she says, snap. But what has she done to better her life? What has she done to better the situation in hopes that she can get some type of contact with her daughter? From what I have seen, absolutely nothing. If anything, what she has done, she has managed to provide enough evidence that having anything to do with that little girl would be absolutely detrimental to the child. Yet she won't see it that way because she has become so cold and calloused playing the forever victim. Now, I am not sold on her being pregnant. Maybe I'm wrong, and if she is, I have no issues admitting that I am wrong, but maybe it's best for me to believe that she's not because the things that she says about the supposed baby is absolutely despicable, and I refuse to believe that any woman who claims to have been a devoted, loving mother could say such horrid things about a innocent, unborn child. Leticia damns this baby for the faults of her own. It was she that made the decision to seek out men on hookup sites. Now she can continue to claim, I wasn't seeking sex. I even had it on my profile that I didn't want to have sex. I was just looking for somebody to be cuddly wuddly with me. That's all. I didn't want thanks. But come on, let's get real here. It is very obvious that Leticia is a very, very promiscuous person. She puts on that whole I'm an innocent Catholic schoolgirl act just to cover up her inner horny devil. She knew that she was ovulating when she put herself in that predicament, and it was she who chose to not buy herself the plan B. So, in my opinion, this quote unquote unwanted pregnancy is completely and totally all on her 100%. But as I said, I don't believe that she's pregnant, so I'm going to wait to see how the next storyline plays out. But my prediction is that she'll have some sort of emergency, and there goes the whole baby storyline. Or she'll claim to have done something gruesome to the baby and leave us all guessing. I am astounded when I see people actually giving this person kudos and encouragement. I cannot grasp at what good they are seeing in her. Perhaps it's all out of pity. As I said, I once empathized with Leticia, but after she exploited her daughter in the way that she did, any ounce of empathy I had for her is gone. And normally I'm not that type of person, but when anyone exploits a child for their own benefit, I find it absolutely disgusting, especially when it comes from a person who claims to have been exploited as a child themselves. And speaking of exploitation, isn't it funny that now Leticia is using all these experiences as a cash grab? Again, just like Trisha did. Look, support Leticia all you want. I don't get it, but whatever. But know that you blowing smoke up her ass won't benefit her at all because she refuses to make a better life for herself. In fact, all she's doing is sitting around waiting for a handout. This creature claims to have cured her mental ailments by living a vegan lifestyle. That is a flippin' joke. And if she actually thinks that she is of a sounder mind now, she is crazier than I thought. It doesn't take rocket science to figure out what needs to be done to have an actual life, to live a productive life. When she says that we are all just jealous of her, I have to sit back and laugh at her ignorance. Now, of course, we all know that the whole, you're just so jealous is deflection, as is the whole, do you have a life? Again, both statements that Trisha used to say repeatedly. Those phrases are so worn out, and those comebacks, I guess because they use them as a comeback, are so lame. They're so lame. At this point, we just sit here and laugh at anyone who says that. Oh, you guys are just so jealous. You're just so jealous of me. You're jealous of my life. You're jealous of everything that I have or don't have. Yeah, you need to get a life. You need to get a life. Do you have a life? Why don't you go live your life? So lame. So lame. And I guess they think that they are insulting us by that, but lame. Total deflection, but keep on trying with that. You know, it was Leticia who made the decision to share her quote unquote story, and it is her that puts everything out there for the world to see. But the thing is, most of us see through the little woe is me act, and we're going to give our opinions about it. As she says, it's our freedom of speech. It's so weird. I have never used that term, but it seems that all these crazies use it. And I think I know why. While I was watching the Depp trial, an attorney was asked about freedom of speech. And she said, we all have the right to freedom of speech. That is, us, given the freedom to say what we want as long as it's the truth. So I have come to the conclusion that the loons use that it's my freedom of speech to convince themselves that they are speaking their truths. Anyway, I'll be watching, and I will continue to make videos about this creature. Some might wonder why, and I say to them, why not? All right, well, that's going to be it for me, and that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for listening. Remember, each and every one of you are awesome. Now go out there and make it a stellar day.